After Young Thug was released from jail 2 weeks ago, he was active on social media doing small Instagram lives and a bunch of tweets, but then suddenly went quiet. Until it would be suddenly announced, Wack 100 says there is 2 hours of footage of Gunna telling on Young Thug in an interrogation room, making many believe Gunna is getting revenge for all of the sneak disses that Young Thug and Lil Baby's given him for the last 2 weeks.
Hey Gunna, listen, I'm putting it together. I'm gonna give you some time. I don't know, 24 hours, 12 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 1 hour. I don't know. I'm gonna give you some time though, Gunna, for you to go ahead on and confess. Confess to the world about all the telling you did. You know that interrogation? Yeah, guess who got it? 2 hours? Boy, you was in there talking more than Hurricane Katrina. The only thing he did wrong was let him record him. You know what I'm talking about.
As DJ Academics already saw this coming. Right when Young Thug was released, in the moments of him leaving his jail cell, Young Thug tweeted, "Wham, let's drop one on these rats," with the name Wham referring to Lil Baby, who has also been firm on dissing Gunna for snitching out of the YSL trial early, where Lil Baby responded to Young Thug on Instagram saying we should. DJ Academics would explain this could have already broken his probation agreement as it would be announced. Academics speaks on Young Thug getting released and says the stipulations are a setup for the court to try to put Young Thug back into jail, with many believing he's already on his way there. Because if Young Thug breaks his probation, he's going to prison for over 20 years.
I know some of his fans think he beat the case. He definitely didn't beat the case. Beat the case means you got no stipulations. The Young Thug thing is a win, but it's also a huge setup. If you gonna tell me that they're gonna monitor him on a probationary basis for 15 years, can't be in Atlanta, can't communicate with co-defendants or gang members, he can't rap about, he can't promote any music that has to do with what they believe is gang activity. Well, he's always gonna talk about him and his doing his thing. They might consider that gang activity. He might be like, yo, me is like, yo, we going to the park getting lit. We going to the club getting lit. They might be like, oh no, you talking about the gang. So, we celebrating right now because I think we could all see, if you follow that trial at all, whether you're a fan of Thug or not, you can see the pain, you can see was going through it. Like, he gained a lot of weight. Everybody knows Thug was not that weight, so we happy he got out, but we definitely got to be very cognizant of how it's going to play out.
As Academics would end up explaining, this is a very common tactic the court uses when they don't have a strong case against a criminal. They will end up sentencing them to a very long years of probation, hoping they slip up once, and then off to prison they go. As the following day after, Young Thug followed it up with another tweet and an Instagram live. He first tweeted, "Gunna, stop acting like we're friends on the internet. I don't know you, my guy." This got the attention of Gunna and his brother, where Gunna's brother would say, "Trust and believe the feeling is mutual." But then later on that night, Young Thug is testing the probation agreement as he would end up linking with T.I. on an Instagram live, where Young Thug clearly says that he's home and he did it the right way, sneak dissing Gunna.
Hey man, what you got to tell these people? Back. Back, Jack. You feel me? You did. Hey man, ain't no cap in it. No cap in my rap. You feel what I'm saying? The right way. It's time. The right way, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Right way. Yeah, that way. Yeah. And go tell that.
As Young Thug is letting Gunna know that he did it the right way, sneak dissing Gunna and playing it very close to that line of his probation. But with Young Thug out of jail, he was then able to watch the clip of Gunna originally snitching in court, and he would react to it.
You agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in Berkeley?
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped the vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrant and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
as academics would get told through multiple sources that right after Gunna snitched out of the YSL trial and returned home, Young Thug the following morning was making several calls to rappers in the industry, all telling them to avoid Gunna, unfollow him, and cut any business ties.
The streets are so atrocious. Young Thug told everybody that Gunna was a snitch. I'm telling you this, I don't give a if you believe me. That's what he sent to. Or he sent a message to Dirk, Baby. There's a few other rappers, I just won't call their names. Just because some of them just told me in privacy. All of them rappers start not f***ing with Gunna, speaking out, they're chilling away. Thug got out, Gunna kinda hot. Ain't like you're trying to really like jump and work with Gunna, but
as Young Thug was finally able to give his actual reaction to Gunna snitching out of the trial, he would hop on an Instagram live for a short period of time, laughing and hinting.
I'm gonna laugh. I just jumped on here to let you ladies know that yes, a goat can go live. Whoa! What's up? Who up right now? What's up? Who up right now?
But he would get a lot more vocal with the second Instagram live, where fans would begin posting his very surprising words.
Stink, I miss you.
I miss you too. What you doing?
Nothing, bored. You don't like him?
No, he's in my motherfucking room.
Cause you was being mean. He felt your energy.
Man, I don't even play. I fly all the way to LA. Is that?
You ain't gonna touch him.
As allegedly Young Thug was speaking about Gunna, but suddenly moments after the Instagram live, news outlets would begin reporting breaking concerning news coming out involving rapper Gunna being followed and approached by local gang members, where many looked at it as possible revenge against Gunna for snitching against Young Thug in the YSL trial. But then only 20 minutes after that report being released, there would then be a video clip shared of Young Thug in the studio flexing his jewelry, looking very happy to be home.
P, that's some pounds, P.
I'm gonna show him the way, P. Go pound, go pound, go make bag.
In that bag.
I'll take.
Go ahead.
But the entire Young Thug vs Gunna situation gets very confusing from here. Lil Baby defended Young Thug and called Gunna out for over a year. Young Thug's father then even called out Lil Baby and told him to be quiet.
How do you feel about Lil Baby throwing at Gunna for his plea deal?
He need to shut the fuck up, cause he don't know what's going on. You know, he's going off of what he heard. When have y'all went to a court date to support Slime, to support Jeffrey, to support Thug, however you want to name it?
As according to Young Thug's father, Gunna isn't the main reason that Young Thug is in the situation that he's in. However, with Young Thug released from jail, many are believing that Thug's father was lying.
Courtney said, how do you feel about Gunna?
I love Gunna.
See, that's the thing. People don't understand the relationship. They got this thing saying that Gunna is a rat and he's done this and done that.
But see, let me try to help the attorney clarify that a little simpler. Gunna hasn't done anything whatsoever that can hurt us on this case.
But the story gets even crazier from here, confirming that Thug's father was likely lying, as a leaked phone call from jail between Young Thug and Lil Durk would be leaked, where Young Thug was asking Lil Durk to diss Gunna for him, as before this phone call, Lil Durk dropped a snippet of a new song. In the song, he would end up rapping the lyrics, "What happened to Virgil, he's probably gonna tell," sneak dissing Gunna by remixing the title of their two-hit song, What Happened to Virgil. Young Thug wanted that verse.
Hey Durk, I know I want you on. I'm dropping this surprise album on the same day Buddy dropped his album. Coming up soon. I need a verse from you. If you feel like replying, if you feel like you want to reply to it, saying or something, man, don't do it. Drop it on my album. I'm dropping a surprise album on the same day that drop it. Sing your verse in, bro. I want you and Wham on the same song. Sing your verse in.
But this is where more rappers would begin getting involved on the beef, wanting to get close with Young Thug, cutting all ties with Gunna, also while knowing this first Young Thug album is going to be one of the biggest of the year. This is why Drake took advantage of it. It would be announced. Academic says Drake flew to see Young Thug just 2 hours after his release from jail and gave him over $1 million.
They say 2 2 hours afterwards, Drake flew to Thug and allegedly gave him $1 million. Drake didn't tell me. Drake gonna hit me up and be like, which, by the way, super strategic move. Super strategic. Thug was in jail talking about let's squash all this beef. If I'm Drake, I need Atlanta.
As with many believing that it was more than a welcome home present, everyone knows Drake is a very smart guy, who is likely telling Young Thug to chill off creating the beef with Gunna. As the following morning after, the famous rap lawyer who is friends with Drake would announce that Thug's plea deal was amazing, as long as he stays out of trouble.
Young Thug absolutely won that plea deal for so many reasons. One, the prosecution got none of what they wanted when you think about what the charges were and what actually got pled to. And two, he saved himself some major civil liability. Let me break that down. So first off, the prosecution had charged this man with 8 counts. 2 of them were very serious. 2 of them were basically saying that for years you were the leader of a criminal gang that committed murders and all types of acts all over the city of Atlanta. Those 2 charges Young Thug did not plead guilty to. Had he pled guilty to those, he would have gotten serious time, and all the victims of all of this alleged criminal street gang activity, including the families of could have sued him civilly in court and said, hey, this man pled guilty to doing it. Now he's got to pay me. He pled nolo contendere. The judge accepted that plea. The prosecution said, Judge, you should not allow a nolo contendere plea on those 2 counts. The judge said, I am going to allow it.
But in the end, Young Thug might have a little bit of leverage over the county jail. Reports are coming out that Young Thug's legal team is taking legal action for stealing against Young Thug. A report would be shared. Rapper Young Thug had millions in assets in his home when he was arrested, but now the state wants to seize it. The only problem is that he earned it with his very successful music career, with the main item in question being a Richard Mille RM Bubba Watson. This has an estimated price tag of $304,000, but the actual price to obtain the watch is nearly over $1 million. Once these reports started coming out, the following day in the YSL trial, a police officer would take the stand, who just so happened to be wearing a Richard Mille.
3 p.m. to 11 p.m. All right. Can you tell the jury some of your responsibilities and what your role was at Zone 3 Evening Watch?
This did get the attention of Young Thug, because only 3 hours later, Young Thug's lawyer Brian Steele would call Thug on FaceTime to give out a motivational speech to a local classroom, where Young Thug is seen laughing and sharing what's important in life.
You guys should become lawyers. I think it's very important to help people out of the situations they're in as best you can. I mean, what side you want to be on? You want to put people in prison for mistakes? Because everybody makes mistakes, we're human. You know, and everybody on this phone, everybody in this classroom, you always need to know that you're one mistake away. And I feel like we need more people like Brian Steele on this earth and less people like that. So I think it's very, very, very important to become lawyers. I think it's very, very important to be a lawyer over any other thing. You know, lawyers and doctors are the 2 greatest things that were ever founded, you know?